Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are looking at actually creating cumulative relative frequency graphs. A couple days ago we looked at how to read them, which was pretty straightforward. Today we're looking at exactly how to create them. So here we have a scenario, and we are provided a frequency table, and they've gone ahead and calculated the relative frequencies. Now remember, cumulative frequency graphs are summations. So we're not going to plot each of these frequencies right here. We're going to have, here's our frequencies. We're going to have to add these on each time. So let's go ahead and scale our graph. Remember, the frequencies are going up the graph, so we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm going to have to just guess and extend for 100. So here is 20, 40, 60, and 80. Okay, and this is our cumulative frequency. So cum, and that is 8%. And across here, across the x-axis, we're going to put our classes. So go ahead and put a break just so I can start right here for 10. I don't even need the break. So break. Want. We're going to take the break out. It doesn't turn like I need the break. So I go back to my pen and finish scanning my axis. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Down, so I am not going to need the break because this is now 15, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And this is MPG. Okay, so our first one, very simple, straightforward. We're going to plot that one as is. It's the first one. We have nothing to calculate up. So that is 37.6% at 20. So there's 20%, 30%, 35%, there's 37%. Remember, the lower bound gets to 0. Now we're going to add 36% onto that 37%. So if we go ahead and make this cumulative, so we've got the 0.376 plus the 0.366. So this one's going to be 0.742 plus 0.172 is 0.914 plus 0.4 plus 0.968 and 0.979 and 990 and then 100%. Okay, so our next one we got to plot is 0.742. So that is at 25. Where's this one? So 0.742, 70, right there. 35, because we're always plotting on the upper bound, is 0.968. Right about there. 40 is just a little higher. 45 is just a little higher. We can now go ahead and connect these. And there's a cumulative graph. Remember, it stops at 100. You don't have more than 100%. Now, to follow up on our follow-up question, we want to estimate the quartiles. That means those are percent. So we know Q1, which is 25. Q2 is at 50. And Q3 will be at 75. So we go up here, 25. I'm going to switch colors so we can see that. So we go up to 25. We come across the graph. We come down the graph. And that looks to be about 15, 17. We'll call that 19 miles per gallon. All right. When we look at the 50%, reach 50, come across. That looks to be at 22.5 miles per gallon. And now we need the third one, it's 75. 75. That looks to be at 27.5 miles per gallon. So here we have a cumulative frequency graph and the quartiles identified. Okay, moving on to our second example. This time we're given a histogram. What we can get, which gives us the bins. These are bins. If we look here, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins to 10. So each bin is 2. So this is 2, this is 4, this is 6, and this is 8. 12, 14, 16, and 18. And we need to know, but the bins, remember each bar in this in a histogram represents the height. So we got 1, 0, 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, 5, 16. Okay, just estimating. If we're off a little bit, it's not a big deal. Now we need to go ahead and calculate their relatives frequencies. So we need to know the total. So 1, 4, 3, 7, 8, 15, 23, 32, 37, 47, 53. So if we're going to write down the percent, so 1 divided by 53, 0.02, 4 divided by 53, 0.08, e divided by 53, 0.06, 7 divided by 53, 0.138, 5, 9, 17, 16 divided by 53 for the next one, 0.30. And 5 divided by 53, 0.09. Okay, let's go ahead and do our cumulative, so our summation, one after adding them up, one after the other. So this one is still 0.02. Adding 0 is still going to be 0.02. Adding 8 is 0.10. 0.16. 0.29. 0.44. 0.61, 0.91, and 1.00. Scale that. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. This is our Q frequency. And that is a percent. And we're coming up to 18, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We don't know what this is actually, just calling a comp score, so we'll just write it down here. Comp score. All right, so now we can go ahead and plot our points. Starting out here, 0. 2, we have 2%. Up here, because the next one is also 2%, very flat, no change. Then we're up to 10%. Up to 16%. To 29%. 12. Goes up to 44%. 14 is going all the way up. 61%. 16 is up to 91%. Scroll up a little bit. 91%. And we're at 100%. Okay, so our follow-up question is to compare the two distributions. Okay, so we can tell that this distribution is the histogram. Histogram is unimodal and skewed left. With a gap at the interval -4. When we look on the graph here, we can see the gap because it's flattened out here. So here's our gap. Here's our gap, and it's flat and smooth climbing. And then we've got this big jump right in here. Really starting to get the big jump, especially right here. Much steeper climb. So the cum graph, the gap is where gap, flat part, mode, steepest climb. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that should leave you 3 more exercises to do on your own. Remember, this exercise is to be uploaded to the Google Classroom accordingly, either as scanned images or photos. Thank you.